Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. So we're going to call this episode 3 on the AR636 programming series for our Tower Hobbies Uproar version 2 ARF. We've installed an AR636 receiver and we have set the receiver orientation. We actually have this receiver mounted upside down, pins facing towards the rear. We've done that with the AS3X programmer app using my tablet and the Bluetooth module. And then we have set, notice no wings, we've set the aileron control throws for our dual rates, the limit, how far they travel. And we have reversed the servo direction in the programmer because they were backwards. And then we set the control throw movement for the elevator, and we reversed the direction of the servo in the AS3X programmer using the Bluetooth module also for that. We need to do the rudder, and then all the control surfaces will be set up. But I have been having a tough time making these videos using the Bluetooth module, just for the fact of having to record things with the camera and having to, maybe sometimes I got to do it a few times. And if you're not using, your tablet or whatever to, programming it, then like the receiver and the app times out and it disconnects all by itself. Maybe I'm the only one that has that kind of luck, but I mean, sometimes there could be 10 minutes of inactivity in between me figuring something out with the camera or this or that, and then I'll grab the tablet to do something and I'll notice that it's disconnected. And at that point I have the plane upside down so that we can see the the servo or whatever, just to make things better for the camera. And then I have to reconnect everything, but since we have the receiver mounted upside down, then I've got to flip the plane back over, and it's a pain in the butt. Let me show you something right now. Hey Brutus, can I have about 20 minutes to do a video? Boo. Hey, please. Alright guys, I got 20 minutes. If you want to win this jet, all you have to do is subscribe, click the notification bell, and the like button. Then check back with me from time to time and see my new videos. Once we get to 1,000, we're going to do a drawing. I had a drawing at 100 and only 30% signed up. With those odds, it could be a 1 in 300 chance. Subscribe. Check me out, guys. So here's our Bluetooth module that we've been using. One side over here on the left is the servo male plug that plugs into the bind program port of the AR636 receiver. On the right hand side is the Bluetooth module. A light flashes while you're connecting to your Bluetooth on your tablet or your phone, and then the light is solid, just like many other Bluetooth devices. Well, we're not going to use that anymore. We're going to use the other side of the Skektrum programming devices and stuff. This is the RXTX USB program cable that we use to connect our AR636 and other receivers to your home computer. The same thing on the other end. It has a servo male plug, and then it has the USB-A. Well, on our tablet or smartphone, we have either a micro USB like this one, or you might have a USB-C. My tablet has a micro USB, so we need to adapt this to go into the female side of a USB micro. So the way you can do that is get an adapter. And you need to make sure the adapter can transfer data, not just make your USB cable an extension cord. It must be able to transfer data. So then we have our micro USB cable that charges your phone or tablet. You need to make sure that that cable can transfer data. The one that came with your phone most likely does not transfer data. It will only charge your phone. One that came with your tablet or your camera maybe will transfer data as well. A camera, probably. But you need to make sure it can transfer data. And then we can plug the micro portion into the tablet. And then we can plug the adapter in like so. And then our USB program cable like that. Or here is a USB-A and a micro USB that would plug into your tablet or phone. And then plug the Skektrum program cable directly into that. There's other shapes and sizes of adapters, but you need to make sure that it can transfer data. When I got this adapter, it came in a 2-pack from Amazon. I just selected, must transfer data. I think 2 of those were $6 delivered. This white one, I have no idea where I got it from. It actually has Samsung written on it, and my tablet is a Samsung. This gizmo here, I have no idea where I got it. I've looked for markings on these adapters to see if I can tell that they transfer data, and I I don't know. I'm not educated enough to know the difference. I don't know if that double S's means data, but then you look at this one and there's no double S's. So I don't know. So anyways, let me show you how we get this going. Connecting your AR636 receiver to your tablet or smartphone using the AS3X programmer app with the Skektrum USB TX RX programming cable that we normally use on our home computer for programming AR636 receivers, or updating other receivers, or updating and programming your DXE or DXS transmitter. Right now we're going to use this program cable to connect to the app in my tablet instead of the USB adapter. So you would turn on your tablet or your phone, tap the AS3X programmer app, and at first it says it wants permission to turn on Bluetooth, and you say yes. Then you would plug in whatever adapter you chose to use, and then plug in the USB program cable. At that point it says the app would like to access the USB device. Okay. Then it asks you again. Okay. Pay attention to the top right hand corner with the circle with the line going through it. Right now it shows we're not connected. I'm going to turn on my transmitter. Then I have a battery pack power in the receiver on the switch here, and I'm going to turn on the plane. We're connected to the app that quick. The line is no longer through the circle. We're connected. While it's still binding. So we are bound up and connected to the app. And now we're ready to program the control rates for the rudder and the elevator. So we open the Skektrum AS3X programmer app in your phone or your tablet, and it says the application is requesting permission to turn on the Bluetooth. Yes, even though we're not using the Bluetooth. At this point, you will plug in whatever adapter that you have decided to use to adapt from your phone or your tablet to the USB programmer cable, and you plug it in. Then it says allow the app AS3X programmer to access the USB device. Okay. Then it asks you again. Okay. Note the circle in the top right hand corner with the line going through it. That shows that we're not connected. Alright. So I'm going to turn on my transmitter. And then I'm going to power the airplane and watch the circle in the top right hand corner. Connected that fast. And now the airplane is binding to the transmitter. We are now bound and connected to the app. That quick. So looking in the manual of our Uproar version 2, we need to set the servo travel for the elevator. And it says the low rate should be 5/8 of an inch and the high rate 1 1/4 inches. So there's a couple different ways to go about measuring that. You've got a device like this that you would install like that, and then you would watch the travel on this ruler. But for our video here, we're just going to use a ruler, and you can, set up your ruler however you want to, if you want to start on an even, 4 inches or whatever. But I've got it set just for our video purposes, and our video purpose is just to get you guys, figuring out how to use the app and stuff on your own. But I've got it sitting at, it's at 3 1/4, but I'm just going to count it in 1/4 inches. So my rates are set to low, 70% in the transmitter, and right there is 1/4 of an inch. Right there is 1/2 of an inch. That is 3/4 of an inch, and that is 1 inch, and that's full blast. So we've got 1 inch on our low rate. Let's see what the high rate looks like. So we got 1/4, and we got 1/2, 3/4, 1, 1 1/4, almost 1.5 inches for the high rate. And that's just having the transmitter set at 70 and 100. So let's go to our app here, and settings, initial setup, surface setup, and we'll tap on the elevator down here. Right now the travel is set at 100%. So if we go back to our low rates, and we had 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, almost 1, and we need 5/8 of an inch, we can lower the travel a little bit. So let's take it from 100 and bring it down to 90. And what you heard was the alarm on the transmitter saying that we had gotten a fade, because every time you program the receiver through the app, it stops the signal for a second, and then your transmitter sees that. So the servo is set to 89. So I've taken the servo travel in the app and put it back to 100, and set up the different measuring device just for display and to show you guys. So we're in the low rate of the elevator, and you can see that the 0 mark of this ruler is right on the top of the control surface here. So low rate elevator up, right there is about 1/2, and that's full blast. So that's under 3/4. So that's probably around 5/8 right there. Let's do high rate elevator, and that's a little over 1 inch, and it's calling for 5/8 up and down for low, and 1 1/4 inches for high rates. We're just going to leave it right there, because that's close enough for what we're doing. Now we need to, so the rudder is calling for 1.5 inches in low rate and 2 inches in high rate. So right now the rudder is in low rate. That's our low rate and high rate. We just got it set to 70% low and 100 high in the transmitter just for now. There's a couple of different ways of measuring it. Everybody has their own way of doing things. I'm going to probably try to build something to where I can get a little more technical with this. But you can hold a ruler or balance the ruler between, a couple books or whatever. We also have this device right here, and this one's a little tricky to get set up, but you know, if it was longer, you could do it like that. And I have taken like popsicle sticks and taped it to this to make the legs longer. But just for now, just for our demonstration and stuff, we're going to kind of put it like that. And we'll just take a look over it and see what it kind of looks like. Now that's not going to quite work for us. Let's see. Let's try plan B here. So let's just try to hold the ruler without bumping things, and we know it's right here on the 5, and we'll just move it on over, and that's probably about 1.25 inches. We'll try the high rate, put it back here on the 5. That might be our 2 inches right there. You know, so there's lots of ways to measure your servo travel and figure out your dual rates. And, you know, the point of this video is to get you guys comfortable and familiar using the app on your own so you can set up your own plane. So let's just try this way of measuring things. Between the rudder and the elevator right here, there's roughly 3 inches. So we're in the low rates of the rudder. Now let's take a measurement. There's about 1.25 inches. So that gives us about 1.75 inches of travel. It's a little too much. Let's try the high rates of the rudder. Then take another measurement. That's, you know, between 1/2 and 3/4. So wanting 1.5 inches travel for the low rate and 2 inches for the high rate, and we're a little high. Let's go to the AS3X Programmer app and go to surface setup and the rudder travel, and let's take it down to 90. There's 89. Let's see what that does. Back to the low rate, rudder all the way, and there's 1.5 inches, just like that. So there's our low rate, 1.5 inches. Let's do high rate rudder, and then take a measurement. And that's pretty close to 1. So we're just going to call that good for the point of this video. So we lowered the rate to 89 on the rudder. We left the elevator how it is. And now all the control surfaces are set up for their travel. And we figured out and learned a new way to use the USB program cable instead of the Bluetooth adapter. Now I'm just going to back out of the app and power off the airplane and off with the transmitter. We're going to call that the end of episode 3. But hey, there's been a bunch of new subscribers, and hey, thank you. Welcome aboard. It's awesome to have you, and I really appreciate it. I want to mail this jet to somebody in a month, and I don't see why it's not possible. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Click the like button, leave me a comment, maybe a video idea, and that's all you got to do. Once we get to 1,000, we'll just do a drawing, we'll make it fair, and I'll mail this to somebody. I've also noticed that we've lost a bunch of subscribers, so maybe check to make sure that you're still subscribed. I've noticed that in myself and people I'm subscribed to. I'll be watching one of their videos and something, and I'll look to see what their last video was, and then I'll see that I have the option to subscribe. And no, I'm already subscribed. It should say subscriber. So somehow along the line, you know, things happen, but I can't say thank you guys enough. All right, episode 4 coming soon. Thank you guys. Happy flying, and until next time, you'll see me here. Yep, there it is right there. Okay.